Hi there and welcome to this tutorial where I'm going to explain you something about the operators within Lua. It's tutorial number 8 of the Moves for Dummies tutorial sessions. Before I'm getting into the demonstrations, first some theory very quickly. And you can find all of this stuff on the internet. I will share later the address or some good addresses with Lua reference material. So really it's not difficult. You got numerical operators, that's to add numbers. So this adds two numbers, this subtracts two numbers, this multiplies two numbers, this divides two numbers, this provides the modulus or the remainder after an integer division, right? So 3 modulo 2 gives me 1. So a exponent operator is little with a little hat. That's the exponent. So a hat 2 gives me 100. And a unary operator which acts as a negation. Don't confuse with this one. This is really minus a gives me minus 10 when a is 10. Yeah. Forget this examples. I will give you examples when I'm showing this to you. So the double equal sign is the equal sign in Lua. So a single equal sign is an assignment. Double equal sign is a relational operator, right? It's compare values. A tilde and a equal sign is a not equal sign. This compares greater than. This compares less than. This compare greater than equal, less than equal. Not difficult at all. But I will show you in some demos what are the different things that you need to take care of. Right, so the next one is logical operators. And here we have the logical AND operator, OR operator, and NOT operator. I'm going to explain this to you using examples. And we also already documented the concatenation of strings or numbers, right? And there's also the unary operator that returns the length of a string or a table, which I will also demonstrate for you. And this is quite a dangerous kind of operator. You need to take care of that, especially with arrays. So let me get into some demonstrations now. Right, so let me get back this here. I'm going to delete this and I'm going to show you some context. So I'm doing here, I'm gonna do this quickly. Print 10 plus 20, remember what it was? Yes, 30. So 20 minus 10 gives me, minus, gives me 10. Right. 20 divided by 10 gives me 2. Excellent. 5 times 2 gives me 10. 5 modulo 2 gives me 1, right? 5 squared 2 gives me 25. Excellent. So these are the numerical operators. Let me get to the Boolean operators or comparison operators. And let's work with true and false. Is true equals to false? No, that's false. That's wrong. Is 10 equals 20 equals 10? That's false as well. But the non-equal operator with a tilde, like this, would give me true. Is 10 smaller than, no, is 20 smaller than 10? Smaller or equal? False. But is 20 minus 10 true? Yep. Very interesting. Is this true? No, this is false because it's smaller, not smaller or equal. So 10 is equal to 10. Okay, remember the syntax. Always the smaller sign first and then the equal sign. While if you do larger or equal, it works like this. That gives me true, but this would give me false. Okay, let's go to the AND and OR. A bit more difficult, AND and OR. So basically, AND says I'm comparing what's here and what's here. And if both are true, then the result of this operation will be true. So let me do this. 10 equals 10 and 20 equals 20. This will be true. But if I do here 21, then that part here will be wrong. So that gives me false. Okay. Let me get to OR. This still gives me true. Why? Because this is true or that is true. That is false, but this is true, so it gives me true. But if both are false, then that gives me false as well. Another important thing to understand is this. 10 or 5. What would that give me? 10. Why? Because 10 has a value, so that's sufficient. If I do AND, then that will give me 5. Why is that? Because I need 10 and 5 to be evaluated, and 5 is my last operator. So this is true, and that would be true. So that would be 5. So 5 is returned, not 10. Yeah. What does that give me? An exception, you can't. Yeah. Not 5. What does that give me? False. Not true. Gives me false. Not false. What does that give me? True. What does not 0 give me? False. Right, so now for the last part of the tutorial I'm going to go to the concatenation, which I already documented, but there's some quirks there I need to explain. So if I do hello world, number 10, this works. But if I do number and I give a nil value, this doesn't work. It would also happen if you do this. So if I have 10 is nil, and I do here 10, right? This would also generate an exception. So print cannot concatenate any nil value. It can neither concatenate a Boolean value. So when you have true, this would also generate an exception. Okay. What else do I need to explain? The list. So here I'm having a list of three elements. So I do amount, right? Or the number, or amount, or count of list. This gives me 3, which is okay. If I have a nil value here, and this is confusing, right? So I'm having a list of 4 elements, although my first element is nil, it would still give me 4 elements. This would give me 4, although I have 3 values in there. That is a bit quirky. I do not recommend, unless you really know what you're doing, to use this operator at all to count. And there are other ways to count arrays. So this concludes the Lua operators tutorial, and let's move on to the next subject.